Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Rigathi Gachagua, who was nominated as William Ruto's running mate, is going to cost him the presidency. As a matter of fact, if you go to Twitter right now, the top trending item is "Give Gachagua the mic." That's the top trending item on Twitter. Kenyans are generally using that hashtag to mock William Ruto and his choice of Rigathi Gachagua. The truth of the matter is that the choice of Martha Karua as Raila Odinga's running mate has actually excited the larger Mount Kenya region, and many are being persuaded now to support Raila Odinga. The choice of Martha Karua has actually added energy to Raila Odinga's campaign. What about Rigathi Gachagua? When William Ruto settled on Rigathi Gachagua at the expense of Professor Kithure Kindiki, he had his own idea. And one of the reasons why he was appointed was because he's considered to be a mobilizer. The other reason is that he was considered to be someone who is courageous enough to face President Uhuru Kenyatta, because William Ruto and his team believed that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to do everything possible to ensure that he takes control of the larger Mount Kenya region. And the only person who could stop him was Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua also has the money, which is actually handy in this particular election. But that choice is actually turning out to be a bad omen for William Ruto. If William Ruto were to be given a second chance, I can bet on this platform, he will not go for Rigathi Gachagua as his choice of the running mate. And because of Rigathi Gachagua's mouth, even the leadership from the Kenya Kwanza are asking William Ruto to tame Rigathi Gachagua's mouth.
Tunawaheshimu na tunashukuru. Tumekuja kuomba kura zenu kwa unyenyekevu, sababu kura ni yako na ni wewe utajua mahali utaiweka. Kazi yetu ni kukuongeleshea kwa upole, ndivyo ukikubaliana nasi uweke kura kwa azimio la umoja. Kwa nini tuseme azimio la umoja? Ni ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Hatujali kabila lako, hatujali hali yako ya kiuchumi, bora wewe ni binadamu na ni Mkenya. Tunawataka nyote tuwafanyie kazi mpate huduma sawa sawa.
Na mimi nataka nikushauri, nataka kusaidika, mtupatie watu wetu wale watakuja kwangu kuchukua barua ya kwenda jeshi. Ukiniletea mtu ya independent atanitoa wapi? Mimi nitakuwa na biashara na yeye? Mimi siko na biashara na yeye. Kwa hivyo mtupatie watu ya mlengo wetu.
Yesterday while was in Gishu, I saw Rigathi Gachagua making statement and speeches from a written paper or notebook, which means they've started coaching him. But Rigathi Gachagua is still committing several mistakes, which has now forced William Ruto to go back to the drawing board. William Ruto is going back to the drawing board because of two main reasons. The first reason why he's going back to the drawing board is the emergence of a new Martha Karua. Martha Karua has been accepted in the larger Mount Kenya region. And if there's anything which the deputy president would not want to happen, is for Raila Odinga and Azimio to penetrate the mountain. So the entry of Martha Karua is making that a possibility. Number two is the choice of Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate. Rigathi Gachagua is not really being felt in the larger Mount Kenya region, and nationally, of course, that was not the intention of his appointment. Nationally, it's not being considered. So William Ruto decided that for Rigathi, he's going to concentrate in Mount Kenya and in Rift Valley, specifically Rift Valley, but not in Nakuru. So the deputy president has now been forced to develop new strategies. So in this video, I want us to look at the new strategies which the deputy president is currently using following the nomination of Martha Karua and series of mistakes which Rigathi Gachagua has been committing. But before we get into all those details, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now let us get back to the main issue. William Ruto has clearly developed a new strategy in his campaign. He has developed a new strategy on his approach. He has also developed new messaging. You no longer hear the deputy president dwelling so much on bottoms up because that narrative was lost. So the deputy president is currently trying to copy largely from Raila Odinga's previous campaigns. Why am I saying this? The first strategy which William Ruto is using currently is what is calling the economic forums. The idea behind economic forums is that the deputy president wants to find an opportunity of having a one-on-one encounter with the voters. If you follow Raila Odinga's politics, Raila Odinga held the Azimio meetings, each county or each regions, which culminated into his nomination or his announcement of his bid in Kasarani. So the truth is Raila Odinga held this series of meetings, and that's actually what propelled him, because Raila Odinga was not even sure. So he focused on these town hall meetings. That is what William Ruto is borrowing. And again, if you follow Raila Odinga's politics in the last election, he had the Kikao. Kikao is what Ruto is now copying as economic forums. Because remember, William Ruto had actually conducted a series of economic forums without much impact. But now he's copying the Kikao, where he goes to a place, sit down with the masses are raising issues, raising questions, and the deputy president is responding to some of them. Previously, what the deputy would do, if, for example, he was going to Mombasa, the deputy president would just go to a church, attend a church service, for example, then the next thing in rallies. And that was the end of it, because in most cases, some of the rallies are actually mobilized. So it means people were not even able to listen to him. He was not able to listen to the real voters on the ground. He was relying on his team on the ground. So he's currently copying from the Kikao, which is calling the economic forums. And of course, you know, William Ruto is trying to change the narrative so that the country then discusses the issue of economy. So that's his first strategy. His second strategy, which is also coming out, especially after his meeting at the coastal region, is the fact that the deputy president is trying so hard to address the real issues affecting specific regions. Remember, Jubilee government has been in power for 10 years. That's the only problem with the DP. But when he was in the coastal region, for example, the deputy president tried to address several issues. The first issue was the issue of the land equation, or the land question at the coast. And he promised the people of the coastal region that he's going to purchase 1 million acres of land, which the government will purchase and then use to settle squatters. And because, according to Raila Odinga, William Ruto doesn't understand the history of land, he reminded him that the idea of selling land, of purchasing land and giving to the squatters, is the main reason why we have squatters. Because when the colonies, when we gained independence, the government purchased land from the colonists. Then what happened was that powerful individuals, then decided to purchase those lands. So the original people of those lands were left landless, and that's the situation at the coast. But the deputy president is at least saying that for him, he's going to address that issue. And if you followed his coastal tour, the moment he talked of that land issue and the idea of purchasing, that's when now the Basil Criticus land issue came up. In the Basil Criticus land issue, Basil purchased a land from AFC, then he failed to pay. Then AFC decided to go and repossess the land, 4,000, when Jubilee government was in power. Then out of those 4,700 acres, the government actually purchased those land to distribute to squatters. What happened was that instead of distributing these 4,700 acres to squatters, 2,500 acres found their way to William Ruto. That's why, ideally, that's why it made headline, because the system wanted to remind Ruto that this idea of you telling people that you're going to purchase land and give them is not going to work because of this reason. But the truth is, the deputy president is trying to address specific issues. At the course, he's trying to address the issue of land. He's also trying to address the issue of the port. Again, the only disadvantage he has is that previously he used to support the government move to relocate the port. And that's why Joho actually played that clip. You've also seen Rigathi Gachagua before parliamentary committee, how he was defending the relocation of the port. So he's trying to address the real issues. The only disadvantage is that people believe that he had opportunity, but he has not used it so well. The third strategy, which the deputy president never used to use before, is now he has multiple teams in various parts of the country. Previously, when William Ruto would be in Narok, like he was today, that's the place where the entire brigades, his brigades, would be. The whole of this week, you saw William Ruto in the coastal region. You saw in Western, Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula leading serious campaigns there. You saw Rigathi Gachagua in the Rift Valley. So they have split the teams into several multiple units. The only person who used to do that was actually Raila Odinga. But the deputy president is now using that because I think the time is now short and they need to cover the ground. So that's another strategy which I'm seeing the deputy president applying. Number 4, the fourth strategy is now this idea of following Raila Odinga. So if Raila Odinga is going to, like, let me use this week, Raila Odinga was in Western Kenya. So what happened was that Musalia Mudavadi camped there. So when Raila Odinga was going to Vihiga, Mudavadi was already there. When he left Busia, Musalia Mudavadi followed him. Then Musalia Mudavadi went to Bungoma before he went. Now he left Bungoma, just trying to follow Raila Odinga to undo any gain which Raila Odinga and his team might have received in those regions. So I think the idea of following Raila Odinga, especially using the regional leaders, might work or not. At the coastal region, when Raila Odinga left, you saw Amason Kingi and the rest trying to follow him. Then William Ruto also went to coastal region. When he left, you saw the other guys, Joho, Mungaro, Shebal, also following the deputy president. So I think the strategy now here is that the deputy president will have a team following Raila Odinga. So if Raila Odinga is point A, the team will either be ahead of him or after he has left. Number 5, in my view, I think he's now focusing more strategically on the Rift Valley and Central Kenya. And this is where Rigathi Gachagua is coming in. Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to tell the people of the Rift Valley what the deputy president cannot tell them. Like telling them about 6Ps, it's Rigathi. It's Rigathi who can tell them to turn up in large numbers. In Central, the DP also believes that Rigathi Gachagua is best suited to deal with Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but the fact is Rigathi Gachagua has now been confined to those 2 places. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua has been confined to those two places? The truth of the matter is that you give Rigathi Gachagua a microphone at the coastal region, nobody would listen to him. But you give Rigathi Gachagua a microphone in Kikuyu Nation, people will listen to him. You give him a microphone in Rift Valley, people will listen to him because he will say certain things which ordinary Kenyan would not agree with, but for those people, they can easily agree with such kind of lies. Like, for example, when he says that if you vote an independent candidate, then you will not be recruited into in your constituency, no recruitment into KDF will happen. Those are just lies. So you can't take that kind of lie to Nyanza, for example, or to Western, or even to the coastal region. And lastly, their new messaging on the women. The moment Raila Odinga picked Martha Karua, she changed the equation. So William Ruto and his team are trying to make it appear as if Raila Odinga and his brigades rewarded only one woman, Martha Karua, and that the other women are out there, and that's where they are coming in as the hustler nation. So the issue of the women is also something which is giving them headache, because initially they were like agenda, not gender. Kenyans dismissed that, then it went under. Then now they started this idea of, by nominating Martha Karua, what Raila Odinga is doing, only nominating one woman, not the women of the country. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. I think the deputy president has now developed a new strategy. Whether that strategy is going to work or not is something we can't say at now, but let us wait and see how the whole thing is going to unfold. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.